Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode here on the Hermitcraft. Mesified server behind me is the octavoid, which we're going to be working on once again in today's episode, but we have some errands to run at the beginning of this one, and I'm standing in a new shop that has been opened here on the Hermitcraft server. It's a shop that I like the look of. Firework Rockets. Can you have a guess at what's being sold here? Nothing, apparently. I don't know what's going on with this. This shop has the worst entrance ever. Okay, those blocks are one block apart, and then you get to the end here, and there's a 2-block one. It catches me out every time. If you don't press sprint, you fall down below to where those creepers and other baddies are. It's not too good down there. But yes, we have updated to the latest snapshot, which means we get to use Firework Rockets. This has got to be one of the best additions to Minecraft in a long time. Feels like we keep saying that a lot lately. The Elytra was amazing. Now we got the rockets as well. Oh, check that out. And you can do this. Go underwater and back out again. That is amazing. How cool is that? You can swim with your Elytra wings. Whoa, hey, let's keep going. So yeah, I need to experiment with this a little bit. This is the first time I've actually done this. I've just had a few people tweeting me, telling me that you can do this. So, once you lose speed, it looks like you can just get going again. Okay, so this time we're going to drop in the water. Right, my Elytra wings, have they changed? I don't think they have. No! So you can just go around underwater like this. Huh! Well, that's amazing. I love it. That's going to make getting squid, like, manually a lot easier if you haven't got a farm, right? Hi, come here, squiddies. No, maybe it won't. Maybe it won't. We got something to check out anyway. There have been some shenanigans happening on the server, and you're about to see them in a second here. We're going to fly over the Firework Rocket shop. I got a feeling Tango set that up, because he was doing something with gunpowder recently. No idea who set it up, though. That's what we're looking for. Did you see it? We flew right into it. Let's get high up in the sky. We're having a little bit of latency here. I'm right-clicking, and not too much is happening. We've been pranked! The Vindicator has a Christmas hat, and I gotta say, it looks amazing. I think this thing should have had a hat on it all along. Maybe not a Christmas hat, but that just looks hilarious. This was done by Full Symmetry, going around pranking people on the server, and you know, it's a Christmas decoration. That's what it is. It's not a prank, so we've got to keep it up until Christmas is over, which I think is a pretty cool deal. And speaking of Christmas, we got to play some Secret Santa. This is so easy. These firework rockets are the best. Oh, it just makes getting around the server now so pleasant. So we're going to spin very fast like that and land on top of here. That's a great way. Hi, I'm in your face. That's a great way to land, by the way, if you didn't know. Just spin your mouse around really fast. I didn't do it too fast because I'm recording a video. But if you're not doing that, just spin it around as fast as you like, and you pretty much lose all momentum on the spot, which is awesome. So, Secret Santa, press button once to draw Secret Santa. I'm not going to look at the names here. Right, so there's 2 on this side, 1 on that side. Let's go for this one, since there's more options of who to get. We have got Joe Hills! Amazing! Okay, that is cool. Well, who could have I got if I'd selected the other side? Tango or Rendiggly Dog? Okay, very cool. We got Joe Hills, so I'll have to think of something. We won't be doing that in this episode. I've just had an idea. Let's press F5. I want to see something. Tap spacebar. Yes! We can... Whoa! Easy, fella. We can use the ladders to launch as well. And that reminds me, I posted a tutorial the other day, like a 50-second, loads of people once again saying, shortest tutorial ever. I think the shortest one that I've done is literally 10 seconds, and I did that years and years ago. So anyway, this tutorial was for an Elytra launcher, which we have in our base. This thing had about 80 boats in it, and I just destroyed them all with my sword. Look, it's taken no durability damage. But those boats were definitely, you know, causing some extra work for the CPU. There was a time when I had like 120 here, and that was causing some serious issues. So it's always been a little bit of a strain on the server. Nothing too terrible. Now we can pretty much replace it with a singular block. I am wondering what I want to do here. Like, do I want to put a block under it as well? I haven't tried that, but this alone works just fine. Probably don't need the cobwebs. The cobwebs. We absolutely need the cobwebs. We probably don't need this glass pane right here. And I do like to jump onto this. If we try it with a jump, and then we tap spacebar, we can launch ourselves out like that. Very easy, pretty much works every time. Whoa! And this is the tutorial that I was on about. Wow. Did it just fire another one? I did not right-click when I was in the corner there. It felt like it fired another one. So yeah, this is what I showed in the tutorial. This was discovered by Nembomb. Really great idea. Now, can we just walk off the edge, fall into it, then tap spacebar, and then fire? Yes. Yes, we can. So it kind of works either way, and there doesn't seem to be an issue with height here either. So that's just fantastic all around. Excellent. So there we go. I don't think we need to do too much more here. Maybe I'll come back another time and tidy up the bottom area or something around there. But that's it. Our Elytra launcher has been modified. Before we get to the octavoid, got a little job to do in here. Something that's been nagging at me for a while. Can you guess what it is? So I've had a face transplant. I'm wearing Vintage Beef's head right now. Do you know what? I was trying to do an impression of him, and I cannot do a Canadian accent. I tell you, it was the worst impression you'd ever hear, and I thought, nope, we're not going to do that. But yes, everyone has themselves up on the wall in the hub. And there is one person who doesn't, and that's Beef, because he's the newest person on the server, and unfortunately I've neglected to do this for him. And I noticed that there is one space free over here, which is just perfect, right? So we're going to go up to here and give Beef a little armor stand with his face on. Now I was thinking, could we do something funny with this, like the tango head over there, the giraffe head tango. There is an old joke that Beef doesn't have any legs, so I was thinking when we come up here, what we could do is perhaps replace this with a slab. Although it's a sea lantern which is lighting up this area. So we'll put the sea lantern to one side, we'll put a slab there, and then put Beef in the middle. Alright, there we go. Beef certainly looks shorter from up here, but what we've got to do now is drop down below and have a look at it from down there. Let's get our shulker boxes. They've got lots of valuable items in. Don't want those despawning. It almost works. I don't know what to make of that. He's definitely shorter. It's quite comical, actually, because you look around and then it catches your eye because he's lower down. And he's shiny as well. I think Beef will like that. I wonder if he gets the joke. I'm going to have to watch his videos, see if he notices this. Whoa, whoa, check this out. I'm flying in the nether hub. Because I can now, Well, I guess you could have before with the boost bows. It's kind of tricky. Prepare for some spacebar mashing. Eventually, there we go, we get off the ground. Sometimes this looks really odd. I don't know if I could recreate it again, but it kind of made me look like I was standing in the air like this sometimes as I was sort of jumping up with the rockets. Let's try it one more time. Come on. It's not doing anything now, is it? Whoa! Ow! The other thing that you've got to be careful of is if I stand like this and press right click, nothing's happening. And then when you're flying, all of those right clicks that you pressed happened all at once. So you get a huge boost. And then you can fly into that thing. So back at the octavoids, and I got a level with you. This Elder Guardian, as much as I love it, has taken up a lot of space. And I'm not so sure if we can still go ahead with our plans for a storage system. So it's had me thinking we might be able to squeeze something in on top of this. But if not, perhaps what we could do is use the space between the Elder Guardian and the wall over there. And if not that, maybe the space behind the walls. What we're going to be doing today is opening up the area back there and building a storage system for our Guardian drops. But something I had pictured is perhaps that this could be linked to our base up on the hill in the Mesa area. And we could do that with a big tunnel which we open up and put lots of things in. Right, except that tunnel is very long. It goes all the way down to the end there, which is quite some way away. Goes across for a fair distance and then up there. And I think the deal is when you're above the ground you can fly over the distance really quickly between the two places. When you're underground you get to see all of the space that you'd have to dig out, and it's a lot more than you think it would be. So who knows how that's going to work. Let's focus on what we'll be doing, which is opening up the area behind there to store our Guardian Farm drops, which come down through here. And I've decided this is the way it's going to look. We'll have those droppers, and when they land in the middle they go through a hopper which actually here goes over to one side, and you'll see that there's hoppers underneath all around. Not all of them get used, they're there for symmetry reasons. So from this side that one's going to come down in a straight line to here, and then it gets split up into two different channels, and these need some carpets on top of them to look cool. And I've just noticed that that hopper is pointing down. How's this happened? I've made a mistake. Is it the same on this side? Yes it is, look, that one there's pointing down as well. We'll have to check all of them manually here. Anyway, it's going to be like that, and the reason I want to split it up is because those items come down very fast. In fact, they're being dispensed by a dropper, and a dropper is what's then going to dispense them again further down the line. So it kind of makes sense to split them into two channels, right? Otherwise we'll be slowing everything down. So the items land on here, and they're going to go through, and then we're going to have a double item elevator, and we're going to do it the way that we used to do it, except it now works in 1.9, so I'll show you that. But back here we've got a little bit of a problem. There's a lava lake, and I've cleaned out a lot of these lava lakes, and I've been doing it the silly way, and I thought about doing it the silly way again, which is using water and then digging out the obsidian. And then I remembered, wait a minute, we can use gravel or sand. And I'm doing this to remind you as well, don't forget about this one. It's so typical of me to do this, but you can fill it in so much quicker if you use some gravel. It falls down into place, fills up all the lava, and then you just got to swing your shovel around to get rid of it when you're done. One of the things you will have to be careful of when doing this is overhangs or underhangs. I'm not sure which way around it is. So you're dropping in this at the surface, yet there can be lava underneath and over to the side. So then when you remove all your gravel, the lava flows over it and destroys your blocks, like that. Just like that. See, they're getting destroyed now, but luckily I've picked them up. Alright, so we're going to be leading these two chains of hoppers into two droppers, and our first challenge is to make sure that we can do the redstone down at this level, because we got bedrock in the way, and I'd like to do a design that doesn't, you know, find itself between the bedrock, but actually just works above it, because we've got to do the same thing over on the other side, and I would like things to be symmetrical. However, this first bit here is going to be a behind the scenes area, so we're not going to tidy up, and it's not going to be on view. I've put these here so that they come a fair way away from the wall, and we should have plenty of height above us depending on how high this room is going to go. So when these go up, they'll then go into water streams which lead around to the chests in our storage room, and that part will be visible. So all of that can be behind the scenes and technically not need to be symmetrical, right? Anyway, I've installed a beacon, and boy oh boy does this make your life easy when you're doing these sorts of projects. And I would like to do something quite big and grand back here as well. So I'm going to do a lot of digging, dig out a really large area and get a sense of scale going on here. So I did it again. I talked about putting in these dropper elevators, then got distracted with digging. This is the same design as what we used in the last episode. So we've got that. Yep, that's on subtract mode. Put a block there. This block is going to power that. I believe using bud powering, you know, quasi-connectivity, which is always a confusing topic. And it means we have a solid block where I was going to put glass all the way around, but that really ain't an issue at all. So it works absolutely fine. We've got two of those stacked up side by side. Let's chuck in a few of those and a couple of these, and you can see up they go. If there was a proper area up the top here, they wouldn't fly off to the side. Ow! Hi, spider! At first I was thinking, why is this cobblestone hurting me? Because I just walked over to pick it up. There's actually a spider back here. Right, if we do that, you'll see that all of the items should end up, in theory, in there. Since there's a glitchy cobblestone, we'll chuck some chests. Why not? They're all going to end up in that gap now, right? Yes, there you go. They're grouping up nicely, and of course we can take that as high as we like. Now, I mentioned that you're going to hear me praising shulker boxes a lot. I have found, though, at the moment, that I brought so much stuff to do projects with me that I'm just like ending up with loads of these chests lying around, and they're a jumble, and I don't know what's going on, and there's just all sorts of stuff here. They can become messy pretty quickly, which is another reason we need this storage system, because I want it to use shulker boxes so we can go, right, we're done with this project, dump the shulker box down, and it will get emptied and sorted automatically, which would be, of course, very helpful. So I've done my digging, and these bats just love this room. The three of them have been flying around here for a few minutes. Cool. So anyway, this thing is maybe not as big as you was expecting. It's nice and wide though, which I think is really where the scale is going to come from. And maybe it needs to be a little bit taller too. But at the back of the room, what we've got to consider is that we'll want a little bit of space. Then we're going to have hoppers and chests in front. So the room sort of starts 4 blocks in from what you're seeing right here. And this should all be measured up correctly. So it's a little bit narrower than that, and our main pathway is going to go through here, and you'll notice that we are higher up, and that's because I've decided when we walk into this room, I think the view is better if you're off of the ground. Or do I want to change my mind? Because I've just walked in there and thought, is it actually, like if you were to come in from down here, It is a little bit grander. Maybe I could lower it. I'll have to and ah and make up my mind. But anyway, we've been in this area for a little bit now, and I always like to break things up in an episode. So we're going to go for a wander, then we're going to come back here and start placing in lots of chests and lots of hoppers. By the way, I do want to say thank you for all of the feedback on this build. I stepped outside my comfort zone, and it turned out good. A lot of you really liked this, which I was very pleased with. And I was watching a Tango and Impulse live stream replay, and Tango came through here and he said, it looks like a false build, and I thought, well, that is a compliment if I've ever heard one. And the two of them have actually built something in the Christmas area, which is why we're here. We're going to go check it out. I myself haven't really built anything else. Well, obviously I haven't. Oh, there's a house up there as well. That to me looks like a Scar build, or maybe a Wells Knight build. There's lots of good builders on the server. It could be anyone really, couldn't it? I haven't really built much over here myself. My thing is to come over here and make the area. Then I want to see what other people do with it, you know? But we put in our candy canes. Had some comments to replace this with quartz. I think that's a good idea. That's something I need to do on a stream. But this is what Tango and Impulse have built. And it looks great. I mean, I've seen it already, right? But you come over here, you see it in person, and it makes it that much better. This is awesome. They're all holding cookies. And how far back can they get knocked? It looks like perhaps if they get hit successfully a few times in a row, they go back. They seem to not go too much further than here. Maybe that's like the furthest range they can get shot back. Deranged Elf Repulsion Program. I love it. So those guys are elves. Man, I love those derpy faces. We got to check out this build as well. We can't neglect the one over here. The house on the hill. Well, actually, it's clearly unfinished now that I've been inside there, so we'll leave that one alone. What's going on over here? Someone else has got their building boxes lying around. This is awesome. This is the way to do it. Project box. I like it. Nice and organised. Landscaping box. This has got to be Scar. Scar's got a landscaping box too. I got one of those, but Scar's the true landscaper. Here's a little something I wanted to do for a while. These beacon beams going all the way up into the sky can be a little bit of an eyesore. So I was looking at these ones and thinking maybe they should be a different colour. And I think I want to make them match the sky during the day. And it's nighttime. Wait, wasn't Scar about... Yes. Scar, you have saved the day, my man. He doesn't even know. So, right, we put blue there. Aha. Okay, so that doesn't quite match the sky, which is what I was expecting. I also brought light blue as well. Let's use our keeper right here. And bam, that should... When it updates, yeah, that kind of fits with the sky just a little bit more. Do you know what? We could mix the colours a bit. I could also put white glass on top of this. I'm going to go grab some of that, actually, but I want to show you something. My rocket box. It's called Rocket, so I'm definitely going to change it to a rocket box. I'm going to have this thing stocked up, so wherever we go, we've always got a shulker box that's just loaded with extra rocks, which is pretty cool. Rocks? Rockets. I knew I said the wrong word. Also, I'm going to put that one block lower, right? Anyway, I was thinking about this a second ago. How am I going to get from each of them? For an ender pearl? No. Of course we can use our rockets now. This is changing the game. Okay, so let's go and put one of these on top. We might have to mix and match a little bit here. Bam. So that'll make it lighter. Ugh, kind of looks ugly. And then maybe put one of those. I think you can do 4 in total. Ooh, that might be... That's definitely better than one alone, isn't it? Let's try it with an extra one as well. So the way in which they are ordered, we'll mess about with it, and I can't be bothered to get too into it right now. I just know that we're going to go with this. We're going to have blue, white, blue, blue, and I think this one might not even be necessary, but we'll stick with that. We'll put them inside the Guardian head, and we'll do that on all 4 of these. So I fell down here a moment ago. Fun fact for you, you may have heard me say this before. Your Elytra deployment is based on your ping. You can see we've got 4 bars there, so sometimes it's pretty bad, and I was just mashing spacebar and it wouldn't let me fly. Oh dear, so I fell all the way down here. Funny enough though, when I hit the ground I didn't take full damage, but then I decided to get out of here by jumping up and down. And when I posted my video tutorial on the cobweb, I got tons of comments about it. And the thing is, for all of you that were saying it, yes, you can take off the ground, but it's not as simple as jumping on a cobweb and it working every time. Wait a minute, we did this already in the beginning of the video, didn't we? I've forgotten it already. Here we go. Look, you see my wings aren't deploying, and I'm mashing spacebar. It does this sometimes because it's based on ping. There we go, and finally it lets me go up into the sky. And now I've got a ridiculous amount of momentum. Brilliant. Yes, anyway, we've done the beacon beams here now. They look so much better, and they're not quite as much of an eyesore. So I want to go down there, and I can actually use this, but I might take some fall damage. Well, if we fall down here, tap spacebar and look forward, you'll see we start to fall down slower and slower, and I'm just using my elytra there to get down. So I wanted to go big for this project, because this isn't normally the thing that I do. When we do storage systems or something on a large scale, it's usually with practicality in mind. And this is just over the top large scale right here, so it's a bit out of my comfort zone. And I spent some time rearranging the chests in different positions, different distances between each group, doing some stuff where they sort of went back a little bit and then came out again, and couldn't really settle on anything, so I decided to do this. And then I thought, well, how about we come up with an interesting way to do the item filters at the back? And sometimes things just lead themselves in the simplest of directions. So I was thinking, what if you had one item filter that then led into 3 of these to go down into the chests, and then the one at the end would just void the items. So this would be a water stream. And if we were to put a filter on a water stream, that would also mean we need to dispense it again. Hi! How's it going? Did you shoot at me a moment ago and then change your mind? I can barely remember what it was I was thinking of as I'm trying to explain it now. It kind of made more sense when all of these chests were curved in layout, but really what it makes sense to do is just to have 3 item filters and the same water stream going all the way across the back here, and then when you get to the very end, void any items that make their way over there. So as soon as this entire thing is full up, you just start voiding all of the items at the end. So the way we're going to do this with water streams, like I mentioned a moment ago, so this is where the item elevator comes up. The items should be okay. You see, if we had a block here and here, then they would fall into that space. I'm assuming this means they might pop out to either side, which puts them in the right place. So the water's going to go along, it's going to go this way, it's going to turn a corner, and then it's going to go into a couple of ender chests. And I've never done this before in Minecraft. This is a very technical thing. I believe I'm understanding it right, but I'm doing this from memory. When you have ender chests here and the water turns and goes around the corners, the items will get lined up on both blocks at the same time, which means you get the best of both worlds. You get the ice and the hoppers, so we won't have to worry about the water stream running out and needing to replenish it, because we don't really have the space to do that. But what we're going for here is 3 item filters on each side, and we're going to use Impulse's design. However, because we're putting a block here, it means we're going to need an extra row of repeaters underneath, which I don't think timing is an issue on an item filter like that. Hopefully it's not. Those repeaters might be a bad idea, actually, now that I think about it. So these comparators would read through the block, and hopefully I can make that work. Otherwise, you would be putting these on the other side, and then you wouldn't be able to open the chests. So you'd have to raise everything up by 1 block. Another thing to point out, there is a creeper in this room, and it's right down there, so we're going to kill it. Oh, it's dodging. So this is now smaller than it was before, and I was thinking, do you know what, going like big for the sake of going big isn't really remarkable. When you go big and you've got a reason to go big, then it's more interesting. In this case, we're just going over the top for the sake of it. So I decided to just scale it down a little bit. And if we have to raise up the ice, I think actually what I'll probably do is remove that top layer of chest, which you can actually open from standing down here. You just have to aim carefully. Oh, and this shulker box right here, this fancy light blue one, is our ice box for keeping ice in. That's always going to be handy. We really do need to go through all of the different things that we're storing in our ender chest, and I think get smart with it again. So maybe that's something we'll do in a coming episode. Our system is ready to be tested. And we're up here again because we need to fix a problem that we've had with this. A lot of suggestions were to use ice, and it does seem like that's the best way. Also, a few suggestions to use soul sand as well to slow the items down, so probably either of those would have worked. But here's how we're going to do it. We're going to put iron bars just over here, which don't interrupt the beam, and that's going to stop all the items that get shot out at top speed just somewhere in the middle, which is kind of perfect, and I don't think this can go wrong, but I've said that before, haven't I? And speaking of things not going wrong, I need to put ice in there, and then I need to melt it. Can we count on it melting itself? Eventually? Like, there's no way for me to stick my head in there unless I break a hopper. That sounds like the most reasonable idea. Well, those items needed to go down anyway. So off you go, and that in theory works. We'll go down below and check it out in a second. So bam, and that's made those items glitch out. Missing a piece of redstone over here, and there it goes. Excellent. Yes, that looks like it's going to do the job. It's not good enough. I've seen items land on this side and that side as well, and you can see they're off by quite a bit. So where the iron bar sort of stops the thing falling down in the middle, it can still drift left and right as it falls down. So that's not the solution. But anyway, I've had feedback on the eye. Not too many people commenting about it, but a fair few of those who did said they didn't really like the eye. And it got me thinking, why does it have to be an eye? I just got this idea in my head, an eye would look cool. You know, I'm thinking that actually we'll steer away from the eye, and what we could do is have some sort of like crystal formation. Imagine that, and it could be made out of purple glass or something, and it could just come down with some spikes, and it would look quite interesting, and I think it would fit much better than this, which is supposed to be an eye but doesn't really look like an eye. It's also an odd place for an eye to be. Anyway, the items are now dropping down into here, which means they should be going through the hoppers. I can hear some clicking, so that's a really good sign. Let's pop round the back here. This is the moment of truth. Has it all worked? There's usually something you overlook, and I feel like I haven't overlooked anything. Maybe our ender chests won't work. So over here we can see the items coming up to the top, and they're glitching out. They're freaking out. Are they actually going around the corner? Yeah, they are. Alright, so I think what we need here is a roof, which is nice and easy to do. Now, will this still glitch out? I'm really not sure what that's about. Hopefully that's not going to affect all the other items that are coming down here. So the best way to get on top of this bit is to jump from here, and then we should see the items get aligned and picked up first of all, going into the correct filter. That's great. Problem is, well, actually it's not a problem. I should now in theory be able to throw any other type of item in. It should get lined up, go across, there's no filter to pick it up, and it goes off the end where it will get voided. It works! Fantastic! And by the way, I had to bring my second account on to rename these items for me. I'll show you exactly what will happen when you try to rename an item. There it is, the anvil. So if we go in here and we type hashtag filter, and then we click here, you'll see doesn't work, and it takes the XP away from you, which is kind of sucky. So I threw away the items that I used the other account to do that for. If you're in creative mode it works, if you're in your survival it doesn't. That is a snapshot bug if I've ever seen one. I'm left with one concern at the moment. That is that we are dispensing the same item over and over again. This is going to be a problem because all of those items are going to filter through the item hopper, and that's all of them from this chain before it swaps over to another one. So if the drop rate of our farm is faster than the speed of this dropper dispensing items, then it could be stuck on that for a very long time, and I'm not too keen on that. So we have to empty out all of these hoppers, which could be a bit of a nightmare. And if that is going to be a problem, it's very tough because then the speed of this contraption, which is used here and down below on our item elevators, and the speed of hoppers are going to throttle how the farm works and what items get to go through. So now I'm going to AFK over here for as long as I can. Those items will be filling up our storage system, and hopefully it will clear all of the items up there and we won't have a problem. If it doesn't, then we've got some adjusting to do. But anyway, that's it from me this video. If you have enjoyed it, please do leave a like, and remember to go to hermitcraft.com/xmas16 to see the live stream schedule. I believe this video might come out the same day that I'm streaming, or is it the day after? I can't remember, but you can go there, get the times and the time zones. But yes, that's it from me. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.